Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching another GadgetWide production. Now, in this, I guess you could say, webisode of GadgetWide, we're going to be covering the all-new iPhone 6. Now, the iPhone 6 came out, I believe, yeah, it was actually yesterday it came out. Now, I did want to come and immediately do a review video. However, I was extremely tired, primarily because I was waiting in line since about Tuesday morning at about 6 a.m. until Friday morning at about 8:30. So I was just, completely out of it and so tired. And as a matter of fact, I'm still tired, but I want to go ahead and show you guys this product, this iPhone. Now, I did go ahead and pre-order, and as a matter of fact, I did today finally get every single pre-ordered item that I got. And you lucky winners out there, your devices are here. As you all know, I've spoken to you, and they're getting shipped. So, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and start with a unboxing and complete demonstration of a 16GB iPhone 6 in the color silver. Now, I know a lot of people have been covering the gold and the space gray model, but silvers, I don't know, it doesn't seem to be such a popular color, but I do have one, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you the review of this item. Now, this is the regular 6, not the 6 Plus. I do have the 6 Plus, and I am going to do a review on it. And as a matter of fact, I'm actually shooting on a 6 Plus right now. This is being shot with a 6 Plus. And I gotta tell you, the video quality is just extremely great. So let's just go ahead and get right into this. So, as you can see from the box, very simple. Very, very simple. It almost looks like it's unfinished, It looks like they are just kind of sort of left the printing halfway, but it's minimal. It's classic Apple, I guess. So this model is a 16GB, and this is the model that I got shipped from T-Mobile, and it is a T-Mobile model, and I do believe that the T-Mobile models are unlocked. What that means is you could take this phone and put a AT&T SIM card and it should work. You should be able to use international carriers in this phone and it should work, similar to how Verizon functions, of course, without the ability to use CDMA on this. And I could be wrong, maybe this even works on CDMA. So let's start. And I'm really careful how I open my boxes because I like to keep it as original and clean as possible. So I open it like this. Okay. Now, let's take a look in here. There we are. That is the 16GB iPhone 6, and that's a silver model. Looks a little different than the space gray, but it's actually doesn't look too different. In the box you get classic Apple equipment. Here we have the standard headphone jack, the Apple emblems, the charger, which I want to add that on the Plus it does spit out a little more voltage, similar to the iPad mini. And we do have our charging port, which they did a charging cable, I'm sorry, which they said was interchangeable, but it doesn't look to be. So let's move on and let's put that away for a sec and get to the device here. All right, so we have the iPhone 6 16GB T-Mobile model. Let's go ahead and power this on for the first time. Okay, let's go through the setup process. English, United States, choose a network. I am doing this on the roof of my office, and let's see if I can get into our Wi-Fi here. Oops, incorrect password. Come on, come on. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the iCloud activation on this. Go through all that good stuff. There it's going, getting a signal. I mean, it comes pre-installed with a T-Mobile SIM card, so that's what that is, and it's not active. Come on. Come on. I know the Wi-Fi signal is really weak, so just let it sit for a sec, see what happens here. And you know, I want to let you guys know that I personally I'm using the iPhone 6 Plus. I do like it a lot. I actually love it. I am a phablet fan. I really am. There was a point in time where I actually flopped over to Android, primarily because of the ability to have a larger screen. I mean, I used the Note 2 and I went on to the Note 3, and I got a little familiar with the Android environment, and I do like the Android environment. It's not bad, but iOS is just different. It is. We all know that. I mean, how much more... I'm sorry, it just is. You know, forget about being politically correct or anything. It's a better operating system. Apple is the innovator. Everybody else is the imitator. Period. So that's just a fact, absolute fact. And Apple does it better. Now, with Apple having a larger screen, as we're seeing here, I don't know where it's really gonna put Android. I mean, I don't know where Samsung and Google are gonna go, but they have to do something dramatic. They have to do something that's really gonna attract people's attention, and hopefully, you know, I wish the best for them. I truly do. All right, this is not working, so let's see if we can do this in another manner. Let's try to see if we can do it cellular. So let's go back, United States. Let's go ahead and just forget this network here. Now let me see. Give it a sec. So we'll click on that. No, come on. More Wi-Fi settings. That's what I want. Forget it. And let's see. Let's go back. So we didn't select any. Oh, LTE could not activate. Well, it's not an activated SIM card, so. Oh, there it goes. Cool. I don't know how. Well, I guess it has a temporary system to do that. Don't use. Skip this step. Come on, come on, come on. Look, another thing I want to point out. This iOS 8, I'm having, you know, issues with it. I'll be honest with you. Both on the Plus, I really haven't used the 4.6, but I got a buddy of mine who has one, and you know, he's been also experiencing a few issues with it as well. I mean, there was a few, you know, freezes, a few lags here and there. Nothing major, but it's there. And believe it or not, it was not there in the Gold Master version, but it's there in the final version. And it just seems kind of odd to me, but I don't know. Hopefully they'll, you know, release a quick patch and get all this stuff fixed. All right, check this out, guys. As you can see, we have something called display zoom. I want to just specify what this is. Okay, display zoom is an option that allows you to see everything on the device in a zoom manner, in a larger manner. So your icons appear larger, as you can see in the photo here, and if you select it, everything else also appears larger. Text messages, emails, and things of that sort. So, for example, if you were to use the standard method, if you opened up your email client, it would actually go ahead and show you the photos of the individuals that have been sending you emails, or the emails in your inbox. It shows you their avatars. If you have it in the zoomed fashion, it will not show you that. And the same applies in text messages as well, and in other areas where that type of information is displayed. There's another thing I want to point out, that in the iPhone 6 Plus, if you go ahead and go with the horizontal view, in zoom mode, it will not work. It just will not work. You will not get a horizontal display, so don't think your device is defective. You have to set it up in standard mode in order for that to work. And on the Plus, you do get a lot more real estate, so it almost feels like a tablet. And it's really, you know, a joy to work with, really a joy to use. This size, I gotta tell you, is really probably the most optimal size. It's probably the perfect size, I would say. Even if you're a phablet fan, or even if you're just a regular, you know, original iPhone fan, this is the one of the perfect sizes. I mean, it's just perfect. It fits in the hand perfect. It's very usable. It's you know, very portable. So I think Apple went with a great size with this, and a lot of people are going with this. Me personally, I like the 6 Plus, but I do like this just as much. All right, so choose view. I'm gonna go ahead and just go with standard view in this case. All right, now look, this is a great demonstration of what I just told you guys. So if you have the zoomed option, now look at the icons. See, oh, I'm sorry guys, this is our GadgetWide shirt. I'm doing this on outside. It's a little windy here. All right, so with the zoomed option, as you can see, the icons are larger and the real estate gets a little expanded. And you know what? I guess they did this so people with various visual preferences can, you know, choose what they want. So in the standard view, it looks like that, and I think that looks better, to be honest with you. But you know, it's up to people's preferences. Now, in addition to that, it shows you how it would look in a text message. So let's go standard in a text message. Just it's a little larger. You see that? It's not much, but it's a little larger, and it shows you in your email box how it would look. So if it's zoomed, it looks like that, and if it's standard, it will look like that. So let's go ahead and just go with the standard view. Hit next. It says welcome to your iPhone, and there we are, guys. Voicemail. I don't know what line this is, to be honest with you, but it's very weird that this line is on. Seriously, that's weird. I don't know if T-Mobile immediately transferred my existing number to this. It's possible. As soon as I activated it, they did. And that's probably what did happen. So if that did happen, I'm going to go ahead and just put this in airplane mode real quick so we don't get bothered by messages and so on. All right. Now, iOS 8. You know what? Let's not talk about iOS 8. We will talk about iOS 8, but we want to focus on the new device here, right? That's what we need. That's what we want. So let's take a look here, guys. Look. The device is very slim, extremely slim. This device looks like a iPod Touch, the latest one, the 5th generation iPod Touch. It looks like it. It actually, you know, it's very reminiscent of it. It's like they took an iPod Touch and they put a cellular modem in it. But that's what it looks like. Let's look at it carefully here. So we have our power button here. Now, the reason they moved the power button from up here to the side is because it's a bigger phone and some people cannot reach the top. So they went ahead and took a little page from Samsung and they moved it over to the side. And after, you know, for the first day or two, you may actually move up top and see that there's nothing, but you eventually get used to that. So it's actually very nice that they did that. I do like that. Second, we have your SIM card tray. Uses the standard SIM card, which is the nano SIM that we saw in the iPhone 5 and the 5S. And let's move on down a little bit more here. By the way, these right here are your antennas. NFC antennas are here as well. NFC, which is you know what, I am not 1000% sure that this has NFC. I do believe it does though, but I'm not 1000% sure. NFC is the near field communication, which allows you to use the Apple Pay service, where you can go ahead and use your fingerprint and make purchases in stores. So this is what that antenna is. And it also doubles as your Wi-Fi / cellular antenna. And I gotta tell you, service is great. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Move on down here. We have our speaker grill. and that's what that is here. That's just your speaker grill, and it's one-sided. Now, prior to this, Apple used to have two identical looking ones, and people used to think that one speaker was defective, but in reality, that was the microphone grill. So now your speaker grill is dedicated one side, and that is your regular lightning port cable there. And here is your microphone grill, I guess you want to call it. And here is your headphone jack. Now, move on here. We have our volume rockers up and down. They're very, you know, they almost run flush with the device itself. They are very comfortable to use, very easily accessible. And it's actually, you know, I mean, it's designed very nice. It's Apple just does it right. I think they do it right always. And there's your vibrate rocker, and that's it. Now, guys, that's all you have. And you know, in terms of hardware, of course, you do have the home button here. The home button is just like as it was in the iPhone 5S. It does have the ring around it, and that ring also represents the color that your device is actually shipped in. So in this case, we're using a silver model, and a silver model is labeled as silver, and the ring is silver. So if you got a gold, that would be gold, and if you got a space gray, it would be more of a black color. Actually, it would be black because the entire front of the space gray model is black. Okay, now in terms of the front display, there's something I want to make a note of, guys, and this is just being honest. With the 5 Plus, and particularly the gold model, I'm not seeing it as much in here. Well, I'm not with this device, with the 4.7, and I don't know if it's the fact that it's the 4.7 or it's the fact that this is not the gold model, but I don't know, it almost looks plasticky on being white. I do kind of see it here, and you may not agree with me, but I do have a buddy that's in the industry as well, and he's a fanatic just like I am in this, man, you know, for iPhones, and he agrees with me, and he's like, you know what, I'm not really too crazy about the way the white one is looking. It almost looks plastic. It looks like a plastic laminate sticker where you could just peel off. I don't know, I'm not too happy with the way that came out. I don't know, it just something about it. This isn't so evident as it is on the plus size iPhone, but it's not what you would, I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, what it is that I don't like about it. And I'm a fan of white. I mean, that's what I always have been using, the white color. So with the black model, you know, what looks nice is the fact that this is a curved glass, and it really is. It's got very you know, subtle curving to the side, and it's beautiful. There's not a sharp edge in sight, but in white, what happens is it's the bezel. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it looks nice with so much bezel. Now with the black, you have it curved on the edges, and the bezel, no, I'm sorry, with the black, the entire front is one color. It just looks beautiful. It all looks flush, and it looks nicer to me. The model I'm using, which is the iPhone 6 Plus, is a space gray model, which is very close to this color. I mean, I confuse the space gray and the silver on the back end because it looks, you know, they almost look exactly the same color. So I don't know, Apple should have gone maybe a little lighter or a little darker on the space gray, but they're almost identical in color. But the front is white on this, and on the space gray the color is black. So I do prefer the black color. Let's move on now. So that's what we have in hardware. Here we have our proximity sensors in our front-facing cameras. Apple did not upgrade the front-facing camera on megapixel, and some people are not too happy about that. But you know what? In my opinion, I think they do a wonderful job with the way their software processes the hardware that they're using and the way it's optimized. And the rear camera also did not get a boost in upgrades, in hardware upgrade, but video quality is increased dramatically. It just, you know, shoots video extremely well. Now, people have also been talking about this protruding camera. Protruding meaning that it little bit pops out just a little bit there, as you can see. Now, let me explain to you real quick why that is. Okay, in a phone, or in a phone, the component that is the thickest in, let's say, height, I would say, let's call it height, is usually the camera. Now, that is what usually sets the bar for how thick or thin a phone is going to be. Now, Apple didn't want to compromise the width of the phone by making it, you know, just a millimeter larger to, you know, make this flush. So they went ahead and had this camera protruding. Now, you know, it's not so bad. It doesn't really bother me personally, but a problem I could foresee in the future is people that don't use a case, and I think a lot of people do, but some people don't because they like to show the beauty of the product. I personally use a clear TPU flexible case, and it still looks exactly the same, but it's protected. If you don't use one, if you set it on the table back and forth over the years or even through the months, you'll start, you know, having scratches on this because it's protruding, it's sticking out. Now with a case, the problem is solved. You don't really have that problem. And yeah, that's just that. Now, this, guys, is your microphone / noise canceling, and your double flash. Now, Apple has went back to the style of the iPhone, the first generation iPhone, by incorporating the serial number and the information about the iPhone in the back. I mean, it's not that they didn't have it in the iPhone 5 or 5S, but they went back to having your IMEI and serial number information directly located in the back. So that's back. And not only that, but the device in itself looks a lot like the first generation iPhone. It really does. It's just, you know, it's compressed. Now, rather than going with a plastic bottom where all of the communication and antenna would communicate through, because metal is hard to communicate through, they went with these bars, which some people have been complaining about. And as a matter of fact, when I was standing in line and people received their iPhone for the first time, that's the first thing they said is, I don't like the way that looks, and why didn't they make it the same color? I do kind of agree with them. It almost gives it kind of a cheap look, but it's, you know, it's not bad. It grows on you. So that's what we have there in terms of hardware. Let's quickly go ahead and just run through iOS 8. iOS 8, look guys, it's not drastically different. It's a you know, it's kind of putting a tuxedo on iOS 7, making things just a little bit, you know, faster, making things run a little bit better. Of course, we got better hardware here, but you know, it's got a few cool features, and I'm just gonna quickly go over them. And you know, double tapping here, not pressing, double tapping. What this does is, oh, you know what, guys? There you go. It's called reachability. It brings your screen down. Now, the reason that it does that is because due to the larger height of the iPhone, some people can't, you know, with one hand cannot reach the top icons. And for me, it's even hard to kind of reach the top icons, but I can. But some people that can't, what they could do is they could just double tap, and not, I don't mean by press, they just need to tap it gently, 1 and 2. And by the way, the reason it's not working so well, because I do have the protector on here still, as I just unboxed it. They can then reach it with one finger, and they can do various functions and so on, and access the top of the screen. So that's very nice. I like the way they did that. It's a little different than the way Android does it. Android kind of sort of shrinks your things and puts it either to the right or left side, but these guys went in that manner, and I think that's a smart way to do it, Apple. Good job, guys. All right, so quickly going through the stuff here. Apple didn't, you know what, on the iPhone 6 Plus, they included, you know, some software, a lot of software actually, iMovie and things of that nature, and, you know, some people call it bloatware, but I mean, when I first started my 6 Plus, there was a, you know, whole bunch of other applications here that were pre-installed, and they were all Apple manufactured applications, but this one doesn't seem to have it, and it's actually pretty nice. Now, the phone is very zippy, very quick, very fast, responds very quick, and you know, it's just wonderful. I mean, this is a killer phone, guys. It's such a beautiful phone. It's been designed so nice. The operating system works in unison so good. I mean, it functions just fantastic. They did a really good job. But it's iOS. It's not dramatically different. So those of you that you know, are coming from a 5 or a 4 or even a 3GS, you know, it's very familiar. It's not something that's out of this world. And something I give Apple credit for is they've been consistent and yet innovative, and they have served the needs of the public, and the public loves them. That's because they don't, you know, they don't create features and settings and options that are unnecessary. They do things that are necessary for people. They do things that are needed for people to use. Now, I'm gonna, you know, for example, you know, let's look at the Note 3 or the Galaxy S5. They went ahead and put the feature of, you know, being able to slide through images just by, you know, putting your hand over it. Now, I could see a use for that, but it's not something that's practical daily. I mean, I personally, for me, it's not something that I think is critical to operation. Now, I think Apple operates in that manner as well, where they don't put things into the device that are critical to the operation, and that's why people kind of sort of say, hey, you know what you're not innovating, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. But they are innovating, guys. They truly are. I mean, they you know, throughout the years, they do have the most stable operating system that runs on hardware that does not require a quad core or an octa core or 3 gigabytes of RAM. They are using moderate hardware, but are running software that's just running at the most premium. So you hear the common argument of, hey, you know what, well, my device has a quad core Snapdragon this, and, you know, 3 gigs of that, and so on and so forth. But Apple doesn't need that. I mean, it's unnecessary. They are able to function properly and deliver what they want to deliver and operate just fantastic on the device, without needing all that extra additional hardware. So when people say, hey, you know what, my device has this and that hardware is not really a factor for Apple, because their software is 100% optimized to the hardware that they currently, you know, have employed into each model. And believe me, guys, and I use both devices, and it's just optimized so well on this device, where hardware is not, you know, is not something that we have to even talk about. And generally, Apple users don't go into that area. They don't, you know, they don't bring up my this is how many gigahertz I have, or this is how many megahertz I have, so on and so forth. And this almost reminds me of the time where computers were first getting started, and people would say, hey, I have a 200 megahertz computer, I have a 500 megahertz computer. It reached a point finally where it was, hey, you know what, it either works or it doesn't work. And I think that's where we're coming in the mobile phone industry. Just specs alone are not enough to, you know, raise the bar and say, hey, you know what, I have X amount of specs, so I'm a better device. No, that's not what it is. It's how well the device functions, how it delivers its content, how it actually responds to the user. And Apple does it good. Apple does it better, in my opinion. And I told you this is not a politically correct review, but that's what I personally think. So, you know, and time will tell. And you know, up to now, Apple has been delivering, and people have actually showed their love for this company and for the products that they do. And now with the larger screens and the whole Apple Pay system, it's really interesting to see where everything's going to go. And I think Apple is really, really, really going to revolutionize another industry, you know, just another one under their belt, guys. So that's music. They have phones. They have now they have the payment system, and you know, there's a few that I missed maybe, but they're just revolutionizing industry after industry, and you got to give credit to these guys. So in a nutshell, without going too detailed into the hardware, that's what the new iPhone is. It's very, very reminiscent of the original iPhone that was first released, and it also has a little bit of what the iPhone 5 and 5S were. And it's a new design, new everything. I definitely would suggest it as an upgrade, because this is now a completely new product. It's not a jump from the 5 to the 5S. It's actually a completely new product. The extra screen real estate is wonderful, and the upgrade is definitely recommended. So Everything else, if you're an Apple fan, you're familiar with, believe me. And I don't need to go over much. They do have the health app, and I personally don't use the health app, but people do. It does, you know, show you your heart rate and so on, and which actually will show your heart rate with the watch, and it does a barometer and things of that nature. For me, it's not something that I use personally, but Apple is pushing this fitness program, and it's good. Why not? I don't see the harm in it. It's all right. But again, it's a definite upgrade. For you phablet lovers, go with the 5 Plus. Again, I do suggest the white color because I mentioned with the issues with the white. I'm not seeing it as much with the regular 4.7 inch, but it does have a drastic look on the 5 Plus that I just did not like, and that's just the honest truth. So you guys go to the store, take a look at it for yourself. The 4.7 is actually not that bad, but the on the Plus, it does not look right. And that's my review here, guys. Thank you for watching, and please visit GadgetWide.com for your latest news and information about anything Apple and other things. So thank you guys for watching. I'll have the Plus review as well, and a comparison and unboxing. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day, and visit www.GadgetWide.com, and please rate this video. Bye bye.